Hi, Comm 130. Comm 130, there we go. It's Sister Peterson. Welcome to week 5. This is going to be a pretty emotional roller coaster week. I don't know. Just from past classes and noticing kind of the journey that they go over this week. It's a lot of learning. And it's a lot of figuring out how to do things in a timely manner. A lot of students have a hard time realizing that the draft to their project is this week and that it's all required to be done. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it is required to be done and all that thing. So we're going to go over that. I'm just going to try and give you some tips, some advice to make this week a little bit easier. It's going to be a fun week. Don't get me wrong. You're going to be learning a new program, which is exciting in design. So it'll be fun, but it also will, you'll run into some challenges. I'm not going to sugarcoat this at all. After teaching this course for how many semesters, I don't even know anymore. I know that it is a challenging week, just because it is our first project and you kind of are getting into the groove of things. So please don't panic, but please don't procrastinate. All right. And just know that I'm here to help you along the way. The course creator, he put a lot of thought into this course. It is designed, inspired, and with you in mind, and what you need to learn from this course. So keep all that in mind. All right. So let me go ahead and start with a prayer so we can have the Spirit with us. And then this video will just be me going over everything to expect this week, okay? So I'm not going to be covering really anything else but this week, so that it should be shorter and it should go straight to the point of what you want to know about this upcoming week. And then next week we can talk about InDesign if you would like to, and some tips and tricks I can give you in InDesign. So I'll talk about all that in a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and start by saying the prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for this wonderful day. We're so grateful for the many blessings that Thou hast given us. We're grateful that we're able to have Thy Spirit with us and that we're able to learn and grow from Thee, and that we have education available to us so that we may have so many more options and ability to expand our knowledge. We're grateful for the gospel, and we're grateful for the direction and purpose it gives our lives. We're grateful for the university and the tithe payers and the sacrifice that they make so that we may have so many opportunities at the university. We're grateful for the pathway programs and that it's able to reach so many people and students across the United States, actually across the world. Please bless us now as we go throughout this week, that we may have Thy Spirit with us, that we may be able to prioritize, especially the students, prioritize the things that they need to get done, and so that they can still have time with their family and their other responsibilities. Please bless them to have creativity and inspiration with them as they're working on their projects. And that they may be able to recognize the resources around them and be able to take advantage of those. Please help them to also feel inspired by the things around them, that they have the gifts and the beautiful creations that Thou has given them. And please help me too, that as I'm going through this video, that I may know what the students need to hear so that they can better understand what is expected of them. Please bless also that I'll be able to prioritize my week as well so that I can be able to get grades done for them so that they can read their feedback and continue to learn and grow. Please help the students know that I love them and that I'm here to support them, and that I am here to answer any questions if they need it. And we love Thee so very much, Heavenly Father. We love that Thou is able to communicate with us and be there for us along this journey. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. All right. So, like I said, project week. So let me go ahead and start by sharing my screen. I'm going to get a little bit more excited with you guys, okay? So here we go. We're in week 5. And so we're starting with InDesign. So once again, I talked about this last week. If you try to connect, if you have not downloaded InDesign yet, make sure you do it ASAP. Don't wait until Wednesday's assignment to download InDesign. You will regret that decision. It will take a long time. It takes a while to download onto the computer, and that's valuable time that you need to be working on your assignment. So once again, if you have not downloaded InDesign yet, make sure you download it. And you should already have this app up here because you've been playing around with Photoshop, but you should have this app up here. And if you click on that, come over here, and here's InDesign, and just go ahead and hit open. I need to update my InDesign. Okay. Good reminder for me. All right. And all right. So let's go ahead and talk about what to expect this week. This is not what I want to do. That's my last semester's. I go over my last semester stuff to make sure that I am covering everything in my current semester. So first things first is you're going to do an InDesign worksheet. So you have these helpful InDesign videos. You don't have to watch them. They are optional, but they are very helpful. We found after the first semester piloting the course, these are a lot of the questions that we had when students were working on their projects or on the worksheets. So these videos are here to help you. If you don't know how to do something, you can probably find it in here. Or in your worksheet, okay? So let's talk about the worksheet. The InDesign worksheet, again, you will be required to use InDesign for this, but you will go through, read the instructions, you will download the actual worksheet right here, click and download it, and then you'll open up that worksheet and actually follow along with these videos. So these videos will show you how to do everything in that worksheet. It walks you through how to do it. And so you just watch each video. Once you are done with that video, you move on to the next one. And if you can't do it all at once, if you want to start on Monday and then finish on Tuesday, that's fine because these videos are broken down. I would do 5 of them and then, take a break, come back another time or an hour or the next day and do the rest of them or something like that. But anyways, it's nice that it's broken down. And then you just keep saving your file that you're working on to make sure that you're saving changes. So just go through and follow those videos. It's pretty self-explanatory. But if you do have questions on that, don't hesitate to ask. I would be happy to clarify. And then we're going to do our first project. So this is kind of how things are going to be different. It's different for me too because I used to use Facebook to do draft critiques, but now we are using actual discussion boards per the students' requests. I'm just following you and your feedback, well, your past students' feedback that it was more, that they felt like it would be easier to use discussion boards. So I have, because the course wasn't set up that way and we're all teaching the same course, I had to kind of makeshift a couple of things and add some things in myself that other courses won't be doing. And so if there's things that don't work, let me know right away so I can fix it. But I think it's all working. I tested it myself as a student, went in there and tried it out. So it worked for me, but that doesn't mean it's working for everybody. So please let me know once again. All right. So first things first. You're doing your draft this week for your magazine spread. So you'll come over here to magazine spread draft critique discussion board, and it has all the instructions here. This is not only the instructions, but it also will be where you will post your drafts for critique. So normally, and I think in this project template, it still says Facebook. Wherever it says Facebook, remember that it actually is the discussion board now. So replace Facebook with discussion board, okay? So that's why I put this little note up here. This is where you're going to be posting your drafts because I turned this page into a discussion board. All right, so you'll go through, you'll need to do you'll need to download this first, the project report template, so that you know what you're looking to do, okay? And you'll need to fill this out first before you post your draft. And I would actually, even before you start working on your draft, I would fill out your audience, your message here. I would do your sketches. You have to do 3 sketches, or three to 4, but 3 at the least is required for the variations of your magazine layout. Okay, so 3 variations plus 3 pages. So this magazine spread will be 3 pages long, and then you'll need 3 variations of each of those pages, right? So you'll need to sketch that out first. I would start doing this on Monday or Tuesday, or, start thinking about it and sketching out your magazine spread. Don't save it to the last day, because you also have to be working in InDesign, okay? So again, I would start working on this and do some of your InDesign worksheet, and then do your sketches right afterwards. Maybe 1 variation or 2 variations. And then the next day, do some more of your InDesign worksheet, and then do again some sketches on there for your assignment. Finish up your sketches, okay? Because you'll need to have at least 9 sketches. And then you're going to take a picture of those sketches. You could either take a picture of it with your phone or a camera and upload it to your computer, or you can scan it in if you have a scanner available. Either one of those options, and then you're going to insert the sketches here. So you'll just paste them into this document. And this is something that you'll download. So it's a Word document that you'll be able to put in Word, and then you'll be able to paste your sketches in there, okay? If you struggle with this, then just just upload your sketches to iLearn with this submission, okay? I'm fine with that too. Whatever is going to make your life a little easier, as long as I have the sketches in there. All right, and then you're going to start your project draft right after that. So do all of this first before you even start your draft. And then you'll start working in InDesign for this assignment. It'll list all the programs that you can use. And if you notice here, they'll list all the sketches that you'll do too, because this is a template that we use for every single project. So you'll be using this every single project. So just find what fits this week, which is magazine spread. And then we'll be using InDesign, okay? And you don't need to add anything here. It's just letting you know this is the step process you're going to take. So now you're going to work on your project. And then after you get done with your project, you're going to fill out the rest of this, which is you'll list in here what type of typography you use. So what typeface did you use? What's the name of the font? Like, is it Arial? Is it Times New Roman? Those are, the names of the typeface. And then what category it falls under. Is it old style? Is it sans serif? What you've just been practicing in the typography chapters, okay? So if you need help with reviewing with that, just let me know. And then you'll add your color scheme. What color scheme did you use? And how you generated your color scheme. And here is some resources that you could use to generate color schemes, okay? I'm saying a lot today. I'm just tired. I'm sorry about that. I'll try and keep it in check. Anyways, and then you are going to post your draft onto the discussion board. Now it says, discussion board, Facebook, VoiceThread, whatever you decide to use. We are using discussion boards. I had him add this so it wouldn't confuse you too much. So go and take a screenshot of your discussion board picture, a screenshot of your project posted in the discussion board. So that's part of the critique, is that you go into the discussion board, which is right here again, that we're already working on. I want to update. And you just, well, I'm a student. I'm a teacher. I don't think I can add a thread, but, oh, I can start a new thread here. And then you'll post a PDF or a JPEG of your draft in here so that other classmates can critique it, okay? We will be critiquing it next week, and I'll talk about that in just a second so you have an overview of that, but you'll paste it in here, okay? All right, and then do a screenshot of that and then paste it in here again. And screenshots are different on all computers. But for basic computer, for people who are using Macs, the basic way to do it is if you go Shift, Option, Command 4. Nope, sorry, Shift, Command 4. Yep, sorry. Shift, Command 4. You get those little crosshairs and you can just click, pull, and drag and do a screenshot. For PC users, it's different on each computer. The last PC I used, I just did print screen and then did a screenshot, and then it posted it in a document, like a Microsoft Word document. So if you do not know how to do a screenshot, type in your computer, whatever it is, like I'm trying to think of PCs right off the bat. I don't know, just whatever the name of your computer is, and then type afterwards screenshot. So like mine's a Mac, screenshot tutorial, okay? Just something like that, and then it'll show you how to do a screenshot, okay? Use your resources. Google is a resource. Fact, okay? And then that is all you have to do. You then submit part 1 into the magazine spread. Now, if you notice, there's a part 2, and this is for your project. So you don't have to worry about this part actually until next week, but you're going to add to this. So we did this so you wouldn't have to fill out this form again, right? That you could just save this, and then next week you can pull this up again and then fill out part 2 of this, okay? So at this part 1, you just submit this and it tells you, how to submit it and everything. And you'll go actually back into iLearn under week 5, and right underneath the magazine spread, right above it, right here, submission magazine spread draft. So you'll submit it right there, okay? Now, one other thing I wanted to go over with you. You'll see one more discussion board on here, and it's called Sister Peterson's Draft Critique. This is optional. You do not have to do this. In fact, if you want to get rid of the check mark and you don't want to participate, you can just do a period in there, and then, or write no draft, one or the other. Put a period in the title and then submit it, or no draft, okay? That's just to get rid of your check mark. Otherwise, everyone else who wants to participate in this, and I highly recommend you do, because I'm actually going to be the one grading these assignments. So if you go through and you participate in this, what I do is I make a video critique of everyone who participates in the draft, and I critique their assignments, and I make it one big video, because I have found that it's helpful for students who don't participate to still watch a draft critique to see if they are making these same errors, or for those who are participating to watch other people's critiques so that they can recognize it. And it also helps you when you start participating in your own critiques and start critiquing each other. So I actually learn a lot more from critiquing other people's work than anything I've ever done, like practicing designing, all that. I mean, I learned a lot from it, but I've learned a lot more from even critiquing. So I highly recommend you participate in this. I'll go through, I'll critique it, and then you can make those changes to your draft and get it submitted before deadline. Okay, so if you want to participate in this, this does have a deadline. It's by Monday at 5:30 p.m. I'll go home and I'll record it that night, and then I'll post the video on this discussion board that night. And anybody who participates afterwards, I'm sorry, I won't be making another video. I can only make one video because it takes a lot of time. So again, if you want to participate in that, then you will just post your draft on this feed right here, okay? All right, I think that's everything I wanted to talk to you about as far as what to expect that week. That's all you'll be doing this week. Now let's kind of talk about the requirements for this project, okay? You're going to actually be doing a magazine spread, and we have some examples here for you to look at, good examples. So you'll be doing 3 pages, okay? It doesn't matter if this is the first page, or you have a spread first and then this is the last page. It doesn't matter what order you do it, but you do have to do the size requirements. And the size requirements are listed. Oops. Are listed on there. I'll go over that in just a second. I have to exit out of this in order to go over that. But anyways, so you will do the size requirements and you'll just be doing 3 pages. And it shows you how to set up the document in our video tutorials too as well. And then you'll need to work in columns and you'll be finding a magazine article from either the InZine or Friends or online, or you can do a talk of some sort. It doesn't matter. You just need either a talk or some form of article that you find on lds.org, and then you will put your link in the in the form that you're filling out, okay, to give credit to whoever wrote the actual talk, okay? And then you'll be working in columns and pasting that information in here. You'll need to have a text wrap in there, so see how the text wraps around the image, and you'll learn how to do that in your worksheet. You'll need to have 2 images that you take yourself. So I highly also recommend you start taking pictures probably earlier in this week rather than later. So just go out there and start taking pictures so that it will work with your article. And maybe you want to look for your article first, find your article, and then think about what kind of pictures you would like to put in this article. It could be landscape images. It could be flowers. It's kind of it depends, what season is too, what you can find out there. Or temples, temples are a huge hit for these type of assignments right now, just because they tend to work with articles. But sometimes you can stage some of the stuff going on. Sometimes I'm even okay if you just take a picture of like a glass or an object that is mentioned at one point in this article. All right, that's completely fine. You'll need to have subheadings in there. And I'm trying to think if you need anything. Oh, and a quote taken out of the article. So it should look like something you see in the InZine or in the Friends magazine, or what's another one we use? I can't even think anymore. But anyways, it should look like it goes into a magazine, okay? And that's all part of the requirements. I'm trying to think if there's any other requirements that we should talk about. Let's see. Here's another good example we have here for you guys to look at. And these examples are here for you to look at. You definitely don't want to copy these, okay? I want to see your own original work in here, not copied here. And then here's a bad example. So if you want to kind of see what a bad example looks like, look here. We've provided both good and bad, because sometimes you need to see both. So here it lists the requirements. And if you just hit all of these requirements on here and you do all the other parts of the expectations, you'll be fine. You'll be able to get a passing grade with this assignment. But if you don't, if you start missing some of these, they start being taken off. Even if it's an amazing design, if you're not hitting some of these requirements, you could lose points on there. It doesn't mean you necessarily won't pass, but maybe you weren't going to get the grade you expected. So make sure you carefully read over the requirements in here. And I think I covered everything. 600 words plus, so your article needs to be that long. If it is long and it doesn't fit on those 3-page spreads, you're fine. You can always hit at the bottom, continue on to page, and then just put a page number on there. And that's fine. So you don't have to try and fit all the words in there. I had some students do that in the past where they had, a couple thousand words in their article, and they tried to fit it all in the 3 pages spreads, and the text was getting so small that you couldn't even see anything, and it was hard to work with. So that's fine if everything does not fit on those 3 pages, okay? You will need to break up the article with 3 subheadings. Pull out a quote, like I said, 2 relevant images shot by students this semester. Now, I'm okay too if you want to use images that you did not take. As long as you have 2 in there that you have taken yourself, you can use other images too that you did not take, but then just give credit to whoever took those images, or if they're professional images you found, or if they're on lds.org, you just give credit to those. But 2 have to be at least from you. Okay, so you can have more than 2 images. And then 1 word wrap, consistent headings, border copy, consistent typography, all right? And then you fill out the report, and these are the expectations for the report, okay? So I'm going to talk about next week too, just a little bit, so that you know what to expect the following week, because we're still working on the magazine spread. But the following week, you will then have a critique report due. So for 3 days, you'll be helping each other out by critiquing each other's work and applying the feedback that you got that you think is relevant or will help your design to your actual project. Now, if your classmates give you critique and you're not sure if you want to do it, or if you don't agree necessarily with the critique, you don't have to implement it. It's just an observation from one of your classmates. However, if it is a valid point and you notice, oh my gosh, I do have a widow, or I have a hyphen in my article, or my image doesn't create very nice flow, and you notice that is wrong, then go in and fix it. Or if you have questions about it, you can always ask me too. Like, some of my students gave me this feedback. What do you think? Do you think I should implement this? And I'd be happy to either, to steer you into whatever direction you need to go. But you will be participating for 3 days in the critique, giving each other feedback. You need to at least critique 2 of your classmates, and try and find classmates that don't have 2 critiques. So if you run across some of these posts and they already have 2 comments on there, go find another one so that everybody gets critiqued, okay? Because you do have to have 2 classmates critique yours, and then you have to critique 2 classmates. So both requirements are there. You have to have at least 2 people comment on yours. Now, I often get questions like, well, nobody's commenting on mine. So what I always suggest is that you go in there then and you find a classmate who hasn't had a critique, and you comment on theirs, and then you ask them right afterwards, can you take a look at mine too? I posted mine in the discussion board. Can you give me feedback as well? It's kind of like, I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine, and more than likely that classmate will help you out. So really be mindful. If you already see somebody who has a lot of critique, go find somebody who doesn't have some. And everybody should have their drafts posted by this point, by Monday. So there shouldn't be any late submissions as far as this goes, okay? And then that's all you have to do is then go through, critique them, and then you'll fill out this form. It's another form that you have to fill out. Oh, it's a downloaded form, but you'll just fill it out, put in all the information. It asks it has who you critique, so you have to write down their names on there. It gives you 3 slots, and you don't have to fill out all 3 if you only critique 2. You just have to do at least 2. But if you did critique another one, I like to know if you're really helping out your classmates. It really helps me too, to know that you're helping out. And I do give extra credit at the end of the semester for those who really did help in the draft critiques, their fellow classmates out. So it's just helpful to me to know if you're doing more than just the requirements. Okay, and then it also talks about who critiqued yours, what did they say, what kind of changes did you implement, okay? And then you'll fill out that form, and then Saturday will be your submission of your final magazine spread, because by this point you would have applied all the changes that your classmates suggested or gave you, any suggestions I gave you. You'll apply them, and then you'll finish off your project, fill out the magazine spread final, the last part of it, the part 2, and then you'll submit that, a PDF of your project report. A PDF is the keyword here, not a JPEG, but a PDF, and it's a high quality PDF. And then those are the 2 things you'll submit. So I should have 2 PDFs submitted for your project, and then you're done. Okay, and then I will go ahead and grade them. You apply that feedback and you're good to go. So that's everything. If you have any questions, again, please let me know. Have a great week and be inspired.